Well, hello and welcome to Understand Men Now. I'm your host, Jonathon Aslay, and I'm so excited to be shooting this short video for you today. Our topic, 97% of men disappear after a great first date for this reason. Now, before we get started, just want to share with you my t-shirt says kindness is so gangster, and it might relate to our conversation that we're about to have today. So, has this happened to you? You had a very pleasant first date with a man. There was good conversation. You were sharing a little bit of personal stuff with each other. There was maybe even a little bit of laughter going on between you. And you think, yeah, I'd like to see him again. And then all of a sudden, you don't hear from him. You don't hear a day goes by, 2 days go by. You don't get a follow-up phone call for a date. And it might be really confusing because you felt like you had a connection. You felt like it was a really nice, pleasant, good first date. Now, I want to differentiate from those dates that you might have had where there's really great chemistry with someone. And in those great chemistry kind of dates, I'm sure you've noticed men pursue, hunt, or chase. And most of the time when there's intense chemistry, that hunting, that pursuing, that chasing is usually the pursuit of sex, because we men biologically want to spread our seed. Okay, so, and what that does is that sets women up for a little bit of failure because there's this expectation that men are hunters, men are pursuers, men are chasers. And that is certainly true in the sexual realm. But is it really the same when it comes to relationship realm? Well, let's explore that. Because you might have had a great first date, a really good first date with a guy, and you're wondering, why didn't he follow up? And I'm going to share with you the reason why this doesn't happen most of the time. And that is he doesn't feel safe. Bum, bum, bum. He doesn't feel safe, Jonathon? What do you mean by that he doesn't feel safe? Well, what I mean to say is, while most of the time today, people are meeting total strangers. I mean, the reality is especially in today's world, and especially if you're over 45, most first dates are happening through an online connection. Okay, the days of meeting someone while you're in college or meeting someone at work, while they do happen, for those of us in the midlife category, that doesn't happen the same way. So when we're meeting strangers, and while we might get a tiny glimpse into their life during a first date that might last a half hour, an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, it's just a small glimpse. And what's lacking in those small glimpses is a feeling of deeper familiarity or deeper safety. And I want to add, what I'm trying to say is safety is about familiarity, feeling comfortable, feeling safe, feeling like you want to move forward. And you're probably going, well, Jonathon, I want those men who are confident and know what they want and they feel safe within themselves. And I get it, that's what you want. But here's the thing, 97% of humans, both men and women, are struggling from childhood wounds and adult traumas that affects how they interact with another human being. And so the subtle things that are happening during the date, while there might be laughter, there might be personal sharing, isn't necessarily creating deeper intimacy. And of course not. And I know you've all been told, keep some mystery because men will chase mystery. And it's quite the opposite. We feel safer when there's familiarity and not mystery. Okay, so I had a client one time who came to me and she said, Jonathon, I can't seem to get a second date with men. I've gone out on 50 internet dates in the last 3 years and I can't seem to get a second date. I go, that's kind of interesting because you seem very nice, you seem very pleasant, you're very attractive. So what I had her do a little experiment on the next man she went out with. I suggested that she actually follow up a couple days after the date and initiate a date with him via email. And she did it very subtly. Hey, I'm going to be in your neighborhood next week. Would you like to get together for lunch? And she sent it via an email. And he goes, oh my God, I'd love to. He goes, I didn't think you liked me. I didn't think you liked me. Here's the thing. She seemed to think that she gave all the clues that she liked him on the date, but she really might have been giving off some walls that she was unaware of because of her past traumas and childhood wounds, adult traumas and childhood wounds, and she was unaware of it. So I did a little experiment with men in a group that I belong with. I'm in a Facebook group with over 15,000 men, and I asked them, how would you feel if a woman followed up after a really good first date and invited you out on a date? How would you feel about that? Now, I'm going to tell you, a lot of the men said, oh my gosh, she's a unicorn. She's one of a kind. I mean, she's a keeper, you know, like she's actually part of the dating process. She's treating it as a two-way street. I thought that was fantastic what the men wrote. The reason why most men don't follow up after a really good date is there wasn't enough familiarity built. There wasn't enough safety. And it doesn't mean that these are weak men. It's just, a lot of times we may not think that you really like us. So I want to encourage you to continue to maybe follow up after a first date and say, hey, I really had a great time. You're a fantastic guy. I'd love to see you again. Now, he may have been one of those men that just wasn't that into you. That's possible. But you might want to try this and see how it works out for yourself. Don't wait too long. Do it within 24 hours after a date. Because men want to feel appreciated, just like women want to feel appreciated. So being appreciative for your efforts, and don't use words thank you. Go use the word appreciation. I really appreciated getting to know you. I really appreciated that you treated for the coffee or for dinner or for drinks. Use the word appreciation because that triggers us to feel safer with you. Try that and let me know how it works. Okay? Like to hear your thoughts. Please post a comment below if this resonated with you, if you think this is rubbish, if you think I'm full of shit. I'd like to hear your thoughts. If you'd like to connect with me directly, I have a wonderful group called Midlife Love Mastery. It's a mentorship program. It's only 20 bucks a month, and you can test drive it for $7 for the first few weeks. I have tons of videos. I have a monthly Q&A call, and I have a fantastic Facebook page where I shoot videos similar to this, answering your questions live for you. It's called Midlife Love Mastery. Go to my website, jonathan.aslay.com. Click the group coaching button to learn about it, or there's a link right below here. All right, I'm going to sign off this video as I always do, giving you a big, gigantic Jonathan Bear hug if I have your consent. Oh, thank you. Wishing you a wonderful day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.